Good morning, baseball fans. Happy Monday. Hope you all have a good Sunday morning. Hope you all have an enjoyable weekend. Well, we are just days away for the 2025 MLB baseball season. I am all pumped for the upcoming baseball season. Baseball season is my favorite sport out of the year, besides hockey and football. I think both the Yankees and the Mets will have a fun and exciting upcoming season. Both teams may move during the offseason to improve their roster. I'll start with the Yankees. Now, despite all the injuries the Yankees have, Carl Stanton, who knows when he'll come back, if he comes back this season. He'll probably roll, but who knows when. Luis Gil, he's on the IL as well. He'll be back hopefully by May or June. And the big disappointment, and I think I speak for every Yankee fan, Garrett Cole will be out for the entire 2025 baseball season and the first half of the 2026 baseball season. That's because he had Tommy John surgery. So he's a big blow to the Yankee star rotation. But the Yankees still have a good enough star rotation despite losing Garrett Cole. They signed that guy Max Fried, who is a very, very good pitcher. Plus, you had Carlos Rodon, who is also a good pitcher, who I expect to have another good season. And Clark Smith will probably be on star rotation. You're going to get back Luis Gil at some point, hopefully by May or June. And probably going to have Marcus Stroman on star rotation. And that's because of Garrett Cole being out for this whole season and Luis Gil being on the IL for the first few months of the season. So he'll probably be on star rotation. So I still think the Yankees have a good enough star rotation. They also have a very good bullpen, very capable of. Especially they got Jonathan Loáisiga. He's a very good reliever pitcher. So he'll be back this season, and the rest of their bullpen is pretty much good. So I'm not that concerned about their pitching. Now, the offense, despite losing Juan Soto to the Mets and Giancarlo Stanton being on the IL, the Yankees have a good offense. They have Aaron Judge. They signed that guy Cody Bellinger. They signed that player Goldsmith, who's also a good hitter. But yeah, so Cody Bellinger and Goldsmith are good hitters. So, and then you also have the Dominguez. You have that player Volpe, who's a very good good shortstop. Also, he's a pretty good hitter. I see in head. So the Yankees do have a good offense, despite losing Juan Soto to the Mets during the offseason and Stanton being on the IL. Overall, I think this team is good enough to go to the playoffs again this season. Whether it's win winning the AL East division or clinching one of the wild card spots in the American League. And quite frankly, I think the American League is wide open because I don't think any team in the American League is dominant. I don't. You have Houston, who I don't think is that good anymore, that great as they used to be. Texas, despite having DeGrom on their team, I don't think they're as good as when they won the World Series a couple years ago. The Central, those two teams that might win the Central would be either the Cleveland Guardians and Minnesota Twins. I don't think the White Sox are not that great. I don't expect them win the AL Central. And I don't think the Kansas City Royals are not that great to win the AL Central. So, and we know the Yankees can beat the Guardians or Twins. We've seen that in the past. So the Yankees have a really good chance of going to the playoffs and possibly going back to the World Series. Now, can the Yankees win the AL East division? Yes, it's possible because I still think they're good enough to do that. But they got to compete with the Baltimore Orioles because I think they're still a good team. Boston, the Red Sox, they improved during the offseason. And the Toronto Blue Jays. So I still think the Yankees can still win the AL East division, but it's not going to be easy because you got the Baltimore Orioles, who are a very, very good team. You have the Blue Jays, who are already a good team with Vladimir Guerrero, and the Boston Red Sox improved during the offseason. So I expect them to have a bad season. The Rays, I don't think they're going to have a great season because I didn't think they do a great during the offseason as far as moves go. So I still think the Yankees are good enough to go to the postseason, whether it's win the AL East division or clinching one of the wild cards in the American League. So I still think, despite the injuries they have and losing Juan Soto during the offseason to the Mets, they're still good enough to go to the postseason. Now, the Yankees open up the season at home against the Milwaukee Brewers in a 3-game series. Now, they open up the series on Thursday. It's the afternoon game, 3 p.m., and that game will be on ESPN. So, for all you Yankee fans are going to be home on Thursday, mark down your calendars that the Yankees open their game will be on ESPN at 3 p.m. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch the game because I'll be at work. But I'll check the score on my phone, see how they're doing. So, the other two games will be Saturday and Sunday. One game's at 1 p.m. and Sunday game will be on at 1:30. Now, I suspect the games on Saturday and Sunday will be on the Yes Network. Now, I assume that 20 of the Yankee games will be on Prime Video again this year because, as you all know, Amazon owns 20% of the Yes Network. So I assume 20 of the games will be on Prime Video. I don't know what games will be on Prime Video. I don't have the schedule for that, but I suspect 20 games will be on Prime Video again this season. I don't have a problem with that because I'm a Prime member, so I can watch the games on Prime Video. Another have a few games on Fox and a few games on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. And I think one game will be on Apple TV, which I'm not too impressed of. I'm not being on Apple TV because, quite frankly, the announcers for Apple TV, The announcers on Apple TV for the baseball games are horrible. They're not that great of announcers. So the game that will be on Apple TV, I don't know if it'll be one or two. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's two. So the games that will be on Apple TV, I'll probably have the game on the radio because I'm not impressed of their announcers as far as baseball goes. They're not that good. So all in all, I think the Yankees will have an exciting and fun baseball season. I'm looking forward to watch them again this season. I'm going to watch as many games as possible because naturally you can't watch every single Yankee game. You got things going on. But I'll watch as many Yankee games as I can. Hopefully the Yankees will have another decent, good season. I still think, like I said, despite the injuries they have and losing one so during the season, this team is still good enough to make the postseason, whether it's winning the AL East division or clinching one of the wild card spots in the American League. Because like I said before, the American League is wide open. There's no team in the American League that's dominant. Okay, now on to the Mets. Now the Mets also made moves during the offseason. They signed Juan Soto during the offseason. That was the big move they made. And they re-signed Pete Alonso. Now, I still think this team will have a fun, exciting season coming up. I don't think their star pitcher rotation is deep enough. I mean, even though they got Sangay and they got a couple other pitchers on their star rotation, I don't think it's deep enough. But as far as offense goes, the battle lineup, I think it's good enough. Because, like I said, you have Juan Soto, which you just signed. You have Pete Alonso, who just re-signed. You have Lindor. You have Alvarez. You have Marte. So I think the offense is good enough. But the start pitching is kind of shaky because I don't think it's deep enough. To me, I don't think that is deep enough. Their bullpen, I think it's decent. I mean, they have the guy's player. I forgot the player's name. But anyway, I think their bullpen is decent. As far as them making the playoff to go to World Series, I don't think they're going to go to World Series this season because they're going to have to go through the Dodgers to get to the World Series. And quite frankly, what I'm seeing and hearing, the Dodgers are going to have a dominant season. They're a dominant team right now. They got Ohtani, who's a very good hitter, and I think he's going to return to pitching this season because he hasn't pitched because of this. He had surgery, but I suspect he'll be pitching as well as hitting. He's a very good hitter. He's a very good starting pitcher. They also have that Japanese pitcher also. So get to the World Series for the Mets is not going to be easy because they're going to have to go through the Dodgers to get there. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers go to the World Series to get this season. That's how dominant they are. But I can see the Mets go to the postseason this season. They definitely have a shot of winning the NL East division. They have to compete against two teams to win the National League East division, and that's the Braves and the Phillies. But I expect to have a very good season because both the Braves and the Phillies are two very good teams. So I still think the Mets have a shot of winning the NL East division, but it's not going to be easy of them winning the NL East because you got to compete against the Braves and the Phillies. But I could see them going to the postseason, where it's win the division or close it win the wild card spots. Because I think this team is still good enough to go to the postseason, despite their starting pitching rotation not as deep as people think they are. But I think the offense is going to make up for it because they got, like I said, they got Soto, they got Alonso, they got Lindor, they got Alvarez, they got Marte. So they got a good battle lineup. And I think that's going to make up for their starting pitching because I don't think the starting pitching is not as deep as people think. But I can see them going to the postseason. They may not go to the World Series, but I definitely see this team going to the postseason, definitely. So I think the Mets are going to have a fun and exciting season coming up. Now, the Mets also open up the season on Thursday. They can have a 3-game series in Houston against the Astros. Now, Thursday's game's at 4:10. Friday's game is going to be at 8:10, and that game's got Apple TV Plus. So, all your Met fans who are planning on watching the Mets opening day games this weekend or come up this weekend, mark down your calendars. That Friday's game will be on at 8:10 Apple TV, and Saturday's game will be at 7. Saturday's game on Fox. So that's another national televised game. So the only game that will be on SMY, which is the Mets channel, will be Thursday's game at 4:10. But the other 2 games, Friday and Saturday, Friday's game is going to be on Apple TV at 8:10, and Saturday's game on Fox is at 7:15. So, and they have Sunday off as a day off, and then they resume play on that following Monday. So that's the Mets opening day schedule. Like I said, both the Yankees and the Mets are going to have fun and exciting seasons. I think both these teams are going to be entertaining, and I truly believe both teams will make the postseason. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting season. So I'm looking forward to watching baseball season this season. I'm going to watch as many Yankee games as I can. I might watch some Met games if I can, see how they're doing. Even though I'm a Yankee fan, I'll watch the Mets. So I'm looking forward to the season, especially that my hockey team is not playing that great right now, even though they won yesterday. The Rangers won yesterday. I don't think the Rangers are not that great. So I'm looking forward to the baseball season. I missed it tremendously, especially since the World Series ended. I've been missing it terribly. So I'm looking forward to the baseball season. It should be a fun, exciting baseball season. That's about it. Before I end this video, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow my channel with subscribers. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend.